everyone, I have a creative journal process or traveler's notebook process to share with you today. This time I'm going to use the Paige Evans Turn the Page collection because it's just one of my favourite collections of all time, and I still have loads and loads of it, even though I've just pre-ordered her next collection, which looks absolutely beautiful. But anyways, on to the point of what I'm doing. I'm just going through my scraps there of the collection to try and choose what I'm going to use in this spread, layout, whatever you want to call it. Every time I start one of these creative journal or traveler's notebook processes, I always start with the thought, like, this time I'm gonna do like a proper minimal spread like everyone else does in their traveler's notebooks. You know, it's more like a minimal scrapbook layout. It just happens to be in a book. Yeah, every time that is my intention, and then every time the complete opposite happens. I think I've just have to accept the fact that I'm not a minimalist creator, and I don't think I ever will be. So yes, it's more like as creative journaling, old school scrapbooking or smash booking. It's just lots of bits of paper and things stuck to more paper, basically. So anyways, I've taken these scraps here. I've got the birdies and the flower one. Obviously, I needed to cover up that page there because where I'd done stamping on my previous spread, it had just like bled through quite a bit. So I needed to cover all of that up. And then I had that scrap of, well, this one I'm putting some glue on here that's kind of got all these little phrases and stuff, and it's done in a wave. So I thought I would have that go across the entire middle like so. Now my photos I'm going to put in this spread are of my university campus. Oh, that there, by the way, is the Project Life kit for Turn the Page that came out a while after the collection. Obviously I had to have it, so I'm just picking out some bits to use there. And now I'm doing something else. I'll explain the photos in a minute. So the Turn the Page stamp set has kind of got all these layering stamps that you can use. So I'm just going to play with these just to make some little embellishments and stuff, little flowers and butterflies and hearts and stars and stuff, using my Tim Holtz stamp platform, because obviously when it's a layering stamp, a stamp platform is the best kind of thing to use. I'm using Distress Oxide. I've got tumbled glass, spun sugar and cracked pistachio. I'm not using oxide for any particular reason, like it needs to be oxides. It's just I don't really have many other coloured ink pads, to be honest. I've got a few, but they're not very good. They were like really cheap ones from very early on in my crafting days. So yeah, as I said, no particular reason. It just, those are the one coloured ink pads I have, really. So yes, just layering those up and doing lots of different things, trying to use as many of the different stamps as I can. I'm not going to leave in all the footage of me stamping because obviously when you're doing all the layers and stuff and lots of little stamps, there you go, I've cut it there a bit. So just hearts, stars, pretty butterflies, stuff like that. And then I am going to fussy cut them, and you can see me there cleaning my platform because it's still fairly new to me and I'm still quite anal about making sure it's nice and clean. I'm sure that won't last for much longer. Yes, so fussy cutting those guys out. So those pictures you can just see, here I am cutting them now and I'm about to back them. Those are all of my university campus at the University of Nottingham, my previous university, obviously I'm not there now. It is the most beautiful campus. I know I'm biased, but it is. I did a scrapbook layout recently actually of a picture on campus, so I talked about that a lot then. And I've got 3 pictures here, one of the lake in autumn, one of the lake in winter, and one of the end of the lake where there is a lovely waterfall in spring or summer. I wasn't 100% sure, so I'm going to label each of them like autumn, winter, and then spring/summer, because I couldn't find at the time another picture to use for all 4 seasons. And as well, when you're at university, obviously you're not there for much of summer, just like a little smidge of it. So having 3 seasons, I think, is appropriate for, the academic year. In the Paige Evans sticker book, I found these little stickers that, like, one says, like, spring clothing or spring cleaning and summer clothes and stuff like that. So I've cut those apart to just keep the winter and the spring and the summer and label my pictures with that. But obviously the autumn one said fall, and I'm British and I can't possibly use the word fall, so I decided to take individual alpha stickers and write out the word autumn. Fun etymological fact though, because people sometimes make fun of Americans for using fall instead of autumn because they go, ha ha, leaf fall down. Actually, the word fall has its origins in Old English, so it is actually an English word, and I'm sorry if that was really boring for you because, yes, I find etymology very interesting. British use autumn because it comes from the Latin autumnus, which came to our language through the Old French. Here endeth the lecture. I'm so sorry, it is a university spread, and this is the kind of thing I did study at university, so, it's vaguely related. Anywho, point being, the whole thing about this spread is, I don't want to get into too much detail because it is personal, and I'm going to do some journaling that's hidden so you guys won't see it, but it's kind of about how my last year at university, during my master's university, wasn't necessarily the best time. There are many, many reasons for that. One was my health. I was coming down with, that's like, it wasn't a cold, but my chronic illness, like I was starting to get really ill, and the doctors up there were completely useless. They diagnosed me with stress. Yes, they did. Not stress. But anyway, but for that and other reasons, like the last year wasn't the best. And so I kind of have avoided scrapbooking and memory keeping, anything university related, because I do have some negative feelings kind of thing. And so but recently I've kind of gone beyond that and trying to ignore those more negative feelings and look on the more positive sides. And as I said, it's not just the health thing. There are other things that happened, and there are things that make me go, ugh, when I think of uni. But I did love the campus. I did love it for the most part. I loved my undergrad years and stuff. So yeah, the whole layout is kind of about that, just how I have been avoiding memory keeping uni stuff because of those few, like, it's like 5% badness. And it's, yeah, so it's called Moving On. I'm going to put that, I've already put that Moving On sticker there, just a really, really tiny one up the right side. And yeah, that's basically what it is. Basically saying, look, I'm over it now. I'm going to start looking back on uni with a more positive light, I suppose. I don't know, it's really, really hard to explain without me sounding like I hated the place, which I didn't. And anyway, I'll shut up now. So the journaling I've done on that sort of light mint coloured card is just more happy things. That little sticker I put down there, I've put like my favourite things, like how beautiful the campus is in autumn, and how the lake would freeze over in the winter and be super pretty, and how beautiful it is in the spring and summer, especially the waterfall. And yeah, so I'm just adding lots and lots of embellishments at this point, really. I've got things from the washi book. I've added those embellishments that I created with the stamp set. Lots of bits and pieces from the Paige Evans sticker book, which I'm adding now. And yeah, I cut out that sticker that says something like old endings, new beginnings from the sticker book, and I've backed it with some paper and put that as sort of another little title kind of thing. I never really think there needs to be a direct exact title, especially in a creative journal process like you would have on a scrapbook layout. So yeah, not necessarily has a title, I just need to give it a title for the YouTube video, really. But yes, put that little plaster on, or what Americans would call a band-aid, because I thought that was appropriate, and that was in the sticker book. I have this big bag of fussy cut stuff from the collection, so I thought I might as well use some of this because I have loads and loads of it. But yeah, this Turn the Page collection was very appropriate for this layout, shall we say, because Turn the Page is all about like moving on and new beginnings and blah, 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 blah. All that kind of stuff. I am nearly finished now. All I've done is ramble in this video, I'm sorry, but I'm just adding little bits and pieces of washi here and there because I think I just needed to bring in something that wasn't from the collection. So just like a little extra bit. So as I said, just using little thin bits of washi just to add little areas, so not everything is completely combined and from the same collection kind of thing. So yes, and I think, well, basically once I've got my washi down, it's pretty much it. So yeah, there you go. So sorry for the very rambly video. It's sometimes when it's hard to explain things, you just ramble instead. But I hope you still enjoyed watching the creative process. Please leave me a thumbs up if you did. It really helps out my channel. Chat to me in the comments. I will leave links if I can find them to Turn the Page, but obviously it came out a year ago now, so it's going to be harder and harder to find the links, but I will do my best. Other than that, it is time for me to go. Thank you so much again. I am now going. Bye bye.